Hi guys, when I was about 37 I realised that I started to lose kind of volume in my face, which is natural and there's nothing wrong with that. But I was kind of thinking it would be nice to replace that volume, you know, maybe go back a few years. And the other thing, I think when you try to eat healthy and you exercise, you kind of lose even more weight. So that kind of got me thinking about having some kind of injectable. So I'm here with the lovely Dr. Kishan from the lovely clinic in London.
I think 2 years back, 10 years back, it's pointless. I think better, why don't we celebrate how you look now, but even better.
So this is me before. So Dr. Kishan suggested, first of all, some filler in my temples to uplift my eyes and just improve the shape of my face. Secondly, he suggested some micro Botox or baby Botox around these lines around my eyes and between my eyebrows. He suggested in this hollow grey area under my eyes a bit more filler just to improve that area, and he suggested having Plasmage on the slightly saggy skin between my eyelid and my eyebrows. So this is basically a non-surgical eye lift. For my lips, he suggested a really tiny amount of filler just to replace lost volume, and finally a bit more filler along my jawline to just sharpen that up. Now that sounds like a hell of a lot to me, and I have specified I want this to look really natural, so let's see how it goes. So I had the procedure 2 hours ago. I've been home for an hour just putting ice on everything. My face feels like it's burning. It feels really swollen and tender. The most painful thing about the whole treatment was my lips, like having the filler, really painful. Second most painful thing was having the filler in my temples. The third most painful thing was the Plasmage on my eyes. So they've got a plasma pen, basically, which vaporizes tiny bits of skin, and then it leaves all these little dots you can see which heal up. They form tiny scars and they drop off. The jaw and the under eyes wasn't actually that painful at all. I hardly felt anything. So my tip, if you have had injectables, is make sure you've got all your medication in advance. Ask the clinic what you need and then get it and take it straight away. So as soon as I got in my car, I took 2 paracetamol for the swelling. The sooner you take the paracetamol, the less swelling you'll get. What I should have done is organise my ice packs, because I had to drive around looking for ice on a Sunday evening when everything is shut. And also I need to apply Vaseline to my eyes, the Plasmage, and I don't have any Vaseline, so again I was driving around on a Sunday night trying to find Vaseline. So make sure you get everything you need in advance. This is day 2. My eyes are completely swollen, as you can see. It was quite difficult to get to sleep last night, but I did sleep in the end. I was quite surprised. My eyes are really swollen and it's quite painful. My lips, they just feel really sensitive, and even, I don't want to speak too much because it's kind of, when you make certain movements it hurts. The funny thing is my jaw under my eyes where I had the Botox, I don't feel a thing. There's no pain at all. I'm just going to show you my pillow from last night, which is covered in bits of blood. Hi, this is day 3. So my eyes, as you can see, the swelling and the redness has gone down a lot. So I'm supposed to be back at work tomorrow, so hopefully this will all miraculously disappear for tomorrow. It's not painful or sore or itchy. Everything else is fine. My lips feel almost back to normal. The only issue is my jaw. If I lift my head up, if I just show you here and here, this is hugely swollen. It was difficult to sleep last night. I don't know why my jaw is swollen up on the 2nd and 3rd days. I don't know where that's happened, but it's really tender. So I've taken some paracetamol. Hopefully that will go down. This is day 4. Today I went to work and I put some concealer on the redness here and here. And because you don't want to disturb any of the scabs, I've found it really difficult to remove the concealer, so you can't really see properly, but it kind of looks a bit like lizard skin. It's all kind of scaly, all these tiny little scabs. And it's also itchy. I really want to itch my eyes, but I can't. Everything else has gone back to normal. My jaw hurts slightly here and here. The swelling's gone down. Still not sure whether I'm a fan of the shape. My lips have kind of gone back to normal. They look like my lips before. It's a very subtle difference. Today's day 5. There's just some tiny, almost invisible little scabs. Going to work, whatever. I don't think anyone has really noticed. Everything else has gone back to normal, and I'm really pleased with everything. It seems to have calmed down, so I'm really happy with it. So yeah. So here's the before and after pics. So the after shot was taken just over 1 month afterwards. So the biggest thing that strikes me is the jawline. It looks much stronger, I think more attractive. The second biggest thing that strikes me, if you look at the eyelids, how much more eyelid is visible afterwards, due to that kind of saggy skin being lifted. The third best thing for me is the Botox, how it's really eradicated all those smile lines around my eyes. So my lips look more or less the same. It's a really, really subtle difference, and while that's good because I didn't want crazy big lips, on the other hand, after going through all that pain, maybe I would have liked a little bit more volume in my lips. But all in all, I'm really happy with the result. So from the side, you can see how drastically those smile lines have been eradicated with the micro Botox. So I'm really happy about that, and I still have expression and it doesn't look like I'm frozen or anything. There's just these couple of lines which are left, which kind of look a bit strange on their own after everything else is taken away. But my Botox experience has been a positive one, and I definitely think about doing this in the future.